the line if you are given any of the following: the slope and the y-intercept, the slope and the coordinates of a point on the line, or the coordinate of 2 points on the line. Okay, and then we have two forms. So we can use slope-intercept form, where y equals mx plus b. M is your slope of the line, b is your y-intercept. Or we have point slope form, y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1, where m is the slope of the line and x1, y1 are the coordinates of a point. So this first example says write the equation of a line. Write an equation in slope-intercept form of the line with a slope -2 and y-intercept of 4. So we're going to use y equals mx plus b. Our slope is -2, and our y-intercept is +4. That is our final answer. Okay, and then the next one, write the equation in point-slope form. So now we're working with point-slope form of a line with a slope -3/4 that contains 8, 1. So again, this is going to be your x1, y1. Okay, so point-slope form is y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. Okay, and I like to think about it, your y and your x should never change. That will be there throughout the whole entire equation. So this becomes y minus, my y1 value is 1. My slope is -3/4. And then x minus 8. And they want us to leave it in point-slope form, so we're good. Now, kind of my rule of thumb is unless I tell you otherwise, you should always simplify it into slope-intercept form. So unless I tell you to leave it in point-slope form, you should always simplify. Okay, so write the equation in point-slope form. With a slope of -3 through the point 1, -11. Okay, so in point-slope form, y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So let's plug in our values. Our y-intercept is -11. So now I'm going to say minus -11. Our slope is -3, and our x1 value is 1. Let's go ahead and simplify that even more. So y plus 11, because y minus -11 becomes plus, is equal to -3 times x minus 1. Okay, so always simplify those double negatives if you have them. Example 4, write an equation of a line in slope-intercept form with m equals -3 through the point 1, -11. Okay, so I always start in point-slope form. So I'm going to first start in point-slope form and then simplify. Okay, so y minus -11 is equal to -3 times x minus 1. Let's go ahead and take care of that double negative. -3 times x minus 1. Your first task when going through this is to distribute your 3 into your parentheses. So we have y plus 11 is equal to negative 3x plus 3. And then we need to subtract 11. So our final equation, y equals negative 3x. 3 minus 11 is negative 8. And that is our final answer, because that is in slope-intercept form. Okay. Example 5 says, write the equation of the line that is perpendicular to the line y equals 2/3 x plus 1 and goes to the point 5, 7. First, find the slope of your given line. So what is the slope of y equals 2/3 x plus 1? Your slope there is going to be 2/3. Then we need to find the perpendicular slope. Perpendicular slope is the opposite reciprocal. Opposite reciprocal. So not only does your sign change, but your fraction flips. So this will become negative 3/2. Plugging it into point slope form, y minus 7 is equal to negative 3/2 times x minus 5. Then again, our first step is to distribute this negative 3/2 into our parentheses. So y minus 7 is equal to negative 3/2 x. Negative 3/2 times negative 5 ends up being plus 15/2. And then we have to add 7 over. So y is equal to negative 3/2 x. 15/2 plus 7 ends up being 29/2. So when dealing with parallel or perpendicular lines, you really only have to look at the slope. Perpendicular lines are the opposite reciprocal slope. Parallel lines have the same slope. All right, and then this last one, write the equation of the line that passes through the point 4, -1, and is parallel to the line that contains the points -3, 8, and 2, 7. First, we have to find the slope between these 2 points. Okay, so finding the slope between these two, we have -3, -8, and we have 2, 7. The slope is the difference in our y values over the difference in our x values. So I'm going to go ahead and say 7 minus -8 over 2 minus -3. And this is really 7 plus 8 over 2 plus 3, or 15/5, which is 3. Oh. Okay, and then we're looking for its parallel. So our parallel slope is going to be the same slope. And then our point that it's going to cross through is 4, -1. So let's plug that into our point slope form. So y minus -1 is equal to our slope, which is 3x minus 4. Then we just have to simplify, so let's go ahead and distribute this 3 in. So y, this double negative right here, ends up being y plus 1 is equal to 3x. 3 times negative 4 is minus 12. Subtract 1. Y is equal to 3x minus 13. And then on the back, deals with some word problems. We are going to skip that right now and come back to it at a later time.